Well, happy Monday, everybody. I hope everyone's having a good morning so far. It is Monday, April 21st. My name is Colleen. I'm with Cards by Coco is my website, and I'm so happy you can join me today. I am making one of my favorite layouts, and this isn't the card we're making. I'm going to change up some of the designer series paper, but I love this layout. I think it's so versatile and just really comes together pretty easily, or else that's going to be the hope. Anyway, for those who are new to my channel, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you from a small town in Southwest Washington. I'm going to bring you up here on my laptop so I can see any comments. If you're catching me live, let me know you're here. And if you're watching the replay, let me know what you think about today's project. So I am using the Everyday Details stamp set. You know, you guys, I forgot I had this one, and now it is a last chance product. So it was $24, and now it is, when I looked it up yesterday, it was $14.40. So last chance product. So if you like it, you know, these are only available as long as supplies last. So this is the design we're going to make. Let me show you two samples I made last week using the same layout. I did change the size of the front panel a little bit using the For the Books bundle. How cute are these? I love the gold foil on this one. Just gives it that little bit of sparkle. But let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and look what came for me finally in the mail. The annual catalog starts in May. I'm so excited. Can't wait to show you some of the things I've gotten in the mail. So today I'm going to swap out the designer series paper to the one that came from this package. And this is the Nature's Sweetness 12-inch by 12-inch paper, and let me show it to you. It's just gorgeous. It's one of my favorites. And this is the one I'm going to use today. But look at that gold. So I have made a few wedding cards using this designer series paper, and I just think it's so pretty. And when I made the wedding card, I did some gold and heat embossing, and it turned out really super pretty. Look at this. Look at how shiny that is. You guys know I love all things shiny and sparkly. So that's kind of fun. I hope you all had a good weekend. I apologize if my voice is a little scratchy. It is definitely spring here in the Pacific Northwest, and the hay fever is real this year, folks. It is real. It's been kind of a rough go. Let me go ahead and cut some paper. You know, I like to do everything along with you. One of the reasons I like this layout so much is, especially, let me just backtrack a little bit, especially as we do new catalogs and whatnot, oftentimes we get a lot of new people that take advantage of the starter kits and whatnot. And so I like to show easy layouts that you can use with products you can have in your house without a ton of supplies. So let's go ahead and start cutting this cardstock. So standard card base, we're going to just cut down the middle here on the sheet of Pebbled Path cardstock. So that measures 5.5 inches, and I'm going to rotate it, and we're going to score at 4 1/4 inch. And this is the standard card base that I often use. Every now and then I'll swap it out a little bit, but this is the one you'll see me usually make. And then you have the little valley there and what they call the mountain there. Fold in on the mountainside. There you go. And that's pretty easy. And then I take my bone folder and give it a good burnish. If you don't have a bone folder, just go ahead and use the edge of your block. And I'm going to use the one that the stamp's even on. Let's go ahead and cut some more paper now, using this fabulous designer series paper, which does have like a few words on it. So you just want to be careful when you cut your paper that you have it in the correct orientation. So I went ahead and swapped out a few measurements from these cards. This one is 1/4 inch larger than this one. So I'm going to give you the measurements for this size, but if you want the size here, and I'll blog this card later in the week, it's actually 1/4 inch smaller around. So again, a nice easy layout that you can adapt to the stamps you have in your home. So we want to cut this we want to cut this designer series paper. Sorry, can you tell I'm looking over at my measurements here? At 3.5 inches by 4 inches. I'm going to cut the 4 inches first. And then I'm going to rotate it and then cut it at 3.5 inches. And there we go. Now for the basic white, let me put that aside. For the basic white here, I want to cut one piece at 2.5 inches, 2.25 inches by 3.5 inches. So let's go 3.5, and then 2.25. And that'll make up one of those panels. That is this piece here. Let's tuck that aside. For the bottom piece here, we're going to cut a piece at 2 inches by 3.25. So let's go ahead to 2 inches. And then cut again at 3.25 inches. Well, that doesn't look right. So let me just double check myself here. No, it is. Maybe. No, it's not. See, I didn't think it looked right. So I wonder what I did. Let's try this again. Let's go 3.25 inches. Still doesn't look right. So hang on a second. Let me measure it. That'll be the easiest thing for me because it should be 4 inches. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going back to the other one. So let's see here. 1.75 inch by 4 inches. See, this is why you need to just look at my blog because I have notes scribbled all on the side by me and my eyes moved and I lost my place. So 1.75 inch this way by 4 inches. There we go. Just rewind through all that mess that I just did. And then I need another piece of Pebbled Paths cardstock, cut at 2.5 inches by 3.25. Let me see, 2.5. By 3.75. And then I'm going to double check myself on everything to make sure it's going to lay out appropriately and that I didn't make any big mistakes here. So let's see here. So that's right. That's right. All right, guys, I think I have it. Ta-da. Let's go ahead and start putting our card. Well, let's do some stamping and then we'll start putting our card together. Sorry, you can hear my voice is a little scratchy. I'm sorry about that. Let me grab my mat and the stamp set. So the stamps in this set are absolutely great, and I couldn't decide really what I wanted to use. I love the bird's nest. Wish I had seen that when I was making my Easter cards. The little teacup, I love to drink tea, so that one's perfect too. Kind of disappointed in myself that I forgot I had this. Anyway, so I'm using the plant though. And I'm going to stick with the Pebbled Path. Let me move some of this out of the way. It's a little cluttery over there again, isn't it? And being my usual matchy self, I'm going to stick with the Pebbled Path here. And I'm going to grab this white layer here. And let's go ahead and this is a red rubber stamp. So you actually don't need, if you don't have a mat, you actually don't need it under because this has the cushion to it. And lightly tap, tap, tap. Let's see how that does here. Maybe a little bit more ink on that. Just tap, tap, tap. And with the red rubber, you don't want to press real hard because you don't want to get the halo around your stamps. So let's go ahead, and then I'm just lining it up here at the bottom, hoping not to get my hair in your way. And let's go ahead and pop that down. And that's a beautiful image. So I'm really happy with that. Okay, let me move this stamp out of the way and let's grab the white piece here for our sentiment. And I am using the one that says, "You make every day a little brighter." This also has "Overjoyed for you in this new journey and wishing you so much on this special day." So great sentiments. So this is the part where I hold my breath when I'm live, because I can usually stamp really straight when I'm in this craft room by myself. And then the minute I go live, apparently I forget how to stamp anything straight. So let me hold my breath and we'll just see how it turns out. Oh, good enough. There we go. And then I'm going to show you how easily we assemble this card. Oh, you know, a little crooked. There's two sides to every piece of paper, right? Let's just go ahead and try this one again. That's what I always say. You always have two chances with the same piece of paper. So I hope you all had a nice day yesterday. All right, here we go again. Let's give this a whirl. Oh, nope, we're going to stick with the front. Okay, so let's go ahead here and I'll show you how to assemble this card. It is so easy. Let's go ahead and grab our seal. See, what did I do with it? I have everything kind of scattered around the room. And it's so hard to cover up this gold, isn't it? Ah, because the gold is so pretty. And again, since this had some words on it, let's go ahead and let me double check, make sure I have it facing the right direction. And they do. And pop that down, just watching your borders. And then we'll use this, we'll put this piece down here at the bottom. Oh, and I forgot to cut the piece for the inside. We can do that. And then I just moved this around so I had a similar border at the bottom. And then let's put this piece here. Oh, good morning, Joan. Thanks for popping in today. We're making a very simple layout using this Last Chance product Everyday Detail stamp set. And then let's pop this down here. Now, on my sample, I grabbed some of my Stampin' Blends and colored it in. But for this one, I just want to leave it somewhat simple. So I'm going to leave it like that. And there is a little bit of kind of bronzy gold hint back here on that designer series paper. So I have this twine, and I think it came in a kit. Honestly, I save everything. So I think this might have come in a kit or in a paper pumpkin. I can't remember. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this around the base here twice. So let me grab my seal again, just to ground that vase a little bit. The plant stand. I just want to ground it a little bit with something on the bottom. So let me take this, go like that. Maybe, we'll see. I think it wants to stick to me more than it does the paper. Let's go around here. And bring that, just move it to where you want, play around with it a little bit, and then bring it back around here and give that a snip. Once I get this adhered with some dimensionals, I'll add a little bow. So let me grab my dimensionals. And I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of dimensionals here on that twine to keep it even a little bit more secure. There we go. And I am sure that nobody ever needs to use the amount of dimensionals I use. If you followed me for any length of time, you know I am heavy on dimensionals and on the glue, right? So let me know what you think of this layout. I love to share layouts, card layouts that take just minimal supplies that you can make a beautiful handmade card to share with your friends and family without always starting out with all of the things. So let me show you how to make a quick and easy bow here. I'm just going to snip off a little bit, and then I'm going to thread it under, and it's probably way more than I needed. Do I want to make a double bow? No, I'll just make a single one. I'm just going to pop it under there now that it's all nice and secure. Put a little knot, and then I'm going to tie my bow. Bow making is not my strong strength, but here we go anyway. Let's go ahead and do that. And you know, it's so funny because I have 4 daughters, and so you'd think I would be good at bow tying, right? Here we go. See, and I think we're just going to take a little glue dot, get that secured, play around with the loops a little bit until you get what you want. And then let's get this secured. And you can see that that just gave that a little bit of extra there. Let me grab a glue dot, and then we can go ahead and secure that. And then we'll give it a little trim. There we go. And let's trim those tails off a little bit. And let's go ahead, and I do have some of these gems. They are the festive pearls, and I'm just going to sprinkle these around here. Just pop some of these down. I'm staying with my gold theme. There it went. Let's just pop these around. And then for the inside layer, let's go ahead and cut that since I forgot. If I have a nice piece of, I don't know if I have enough basic white over here with me. But the inside panel would be just a 1/4 inch smaller. So it would be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I didn't grab a piece over with me. So I'll add that after, and then I can share some pictures with you. But anyway, so this is today's card. What do you like? Do you like the coloring on this one a little bit better? Or do you like it just, I like simple and elegant, but I do like the pop of color on that one. So I don't know. And then this is the same layout. And again, for this panel, because this was a smaller stamp, I just decreased the size of this by 1/4 inch. So that's what changed in the measurements. And then this one using the for the books. So I hope I gave you some good ideas here on how to use a simple layout and minimal supplies in your craft room. And thank you. It is simple but pretty. Thanks so much. So anyway, join me next Monday for another card sample. And thanks so much for joining me today.